This
scripting or
conference will
scripting
now
thing.
be recorded.
What is in language and what is in scripting? Language used for software development. And what is scripting? Scripting is used to write a short code, and that short code can be used to make a system automation or to perform some validation task or anything, some small task, you can say small task. So remember, Python is for both. Java is only for software development language. It's basically a language. uh, Python is both thing, scripting as well as language. So we will focus on the core concept first, so then we will move into the advanced one. So what we will use software. Remember, for any language or any software, any tool, you require one thing, what called translator. And after that you require editor, where you will write your script or your instruction. You can say commands, you can write commands or statements or any code, you can say simple code. And translator will translate your language, human understandable language like Python, to binary language. So that's why we require translator. There are two types of translator. In interview they will ask a question, what is translator? And so remember, there are two types of translator. One is in compiler, another is interpreter. So what in by compiler and interpreter? Both are translator. Remember, both will translate the language from one language to another language. Okay. And compiler will translate from whole program. It will write whole program and it will convert it into output format. And interpreter will work based on step by step, or you can say line by line. So this is like I'll give one example. C program is a program in which we need to write whole thing, then we will check the error, or we will run the statements inside there. The example of this is called definition, and this is the an example, remember. So C program, and here example is SQL prompt, or you can say Oracle prompt. So basically, which where you will write the command like select star from EMP, and single line you will execute it. So remember, Python is interpreter language, and this will convert what happen in translation. It will check your syntax, and then if all are valid, then it will translate from one language to another. Translate from one language to another using interpreter. So for that we have command called Python. If you are working in Windows, so you have python.txt file. So what is this python.txt? It is executable. When you run this file, you need to provide your file name to run your program. .py. Py is an extension in Python. Py is what? Basically extension in Python to run a program that contains source code, which we can use for the enhancement. Okay. And file name, your file name, you can specify any file name. And it is not necessary like Java, it is not necessary to write a file name same as what we have in Java or your program. So remember, Python don't have main method. We can write main method, but it's not compulsory to write main method because it is completely interpreted language. So you can write program like this also. This is also possible with Python. Welcome to Python. This is simple program in Python. Whereas in Java, you need to write public, static, void, main, and then you write your code here. This is the single program in system.out.println, whatever. and then message, your message. So that much of code you need to write for Java. In case of Python, you no need to write that much of code. Only you will write the code which you required. We require only message, so we will write a code for message. No need to write a class, public, static, void main. But you can write this thing. That means it is not procedural oriented programming language. You can follow procedural oriented or object oriented. What in by procedural oriented and object oriented? So in procedural oriented programming language, we have some procedures. That procedure runs one by one. And in our object oriented programming language, each and everything is depends on class and objects. So Java is purely object oriented, strictly, you can say strictly object oriented programming language. Java. Java is strictly object oriented programming language. Whereas here in Python, it is not compulsory to go with object oriented, but you can write it. Optional, you can say optional object oriented programming. You can write it or you can omit it. So this is the main thing. Remember, we have two stuff in Python and Java, because Java is based on enterprise level, but the problem is what, there are some issues with Java. Java is basically enterprise level application development, and it is purely strictly follow object oriented concept. Here you can follow it or you cannot follow it, it's up to you, but both are pure object oriented programming language. What in by pure object oriented programming language? Where you need to, if you are following some rules, you need to follow all things. So remember, in Python, there are a few things which we become more interesting, called PEP, Python Enhancement Program, which will help us, which will help for Python developer or Python scripter automator to make Python easy. How? Using the features, they will fetch the features of other languages, like other language is Java or Lisp or C, C++, these type of other languages. It will fetch and they will add into Python. So this is one type of community, and where you can suggest uh, code enhancement, or you can say style code style or features. You can say features or features. You can suggest here features or code style, whatever you like. If you like to go with if you don't want to declare a variable, suppose I just want, I don't want print system dot out dot println. This is to write a simple message in Java, we need to write this much of line. So instead of that, if you say suggest them, no, I don't want to write that like this, can you update in next version of Python as print, so it would be good for others. So they will accept it, and they will try to enhance your code. But main thing is what, they will not accept directly, they need to review it properly, so then only they will accept it. So this is the main thing. Because of this reason, Python become more famous. So today we will see a simple Python using, remember, Python can run in two ways. Why? Because Python is basically a language as well as interpreting, so scripting. So through language means whole program, program file. You have here file. In that file you will write a code, and in scripting you directly write a code, write a statement like print statement. I just want to display welcome to Python, so I'll directly display it. Whereas here I need to write in a file. I need to open Notepad and then write a code, print whatever you want, welcome to Python, and then save it. Save with particular name .py extension. Py extension is compulsory. .py means Python. Okay, you can write any name here and then save it. After writing this thing, you need to write python abc.py. That means you are trying to translate this file using python command. Python is a command, and this command will work only when you set the environment variable. What is environment variable? Remember, there are two types of environment variable: user level environment variable and machine level environment variable. What in by these things? For particular user, I have my system. In that, I have two user 1 and user 2. So if I configure here, if I configure Python environment here, set variable like this, and the address, suppose wherever I store my Python, and if I not configure here, so here I can run it my command like python abc.py. But in this system, if I'm using user 2, if I log in with user 2, if I not set here any path or anything, so I'll not able to write this command. It will give me an error. So better if we try with a user level or machine level. In machine level, if you set one time python set path equal to set path, and the command is set path equal to percent path percent semicolon and the location wherever you have python. Okay, that's it. So this will help us to set the path in your system. Whenever user 1 or user 2 try to access, if you update in machine level environment variable, then anybody can access this path and they will not get any error. Okay, let me show you how we will do these things practically. So and can you see my screen, guys?
Yes.
So I'll open my system, my computer, and then here I install my Python. I can install Python 2.7, 3.7. We will take basic first, 2.7. Later we will go with 3.7. Both are same almost, but we can go with anyone. The main thing is what Python will install any location. In any location we can install Python. So if I try to install this Python, so I need to take this address, and this address will help me to run the program. I need to run it through my system. Suppose I'm writing here python, it should work. Why? Because the path is set already. How I understand this path is already set? I need to go with path using echo path percent path. Echo will display me the variable value. This is called system variable, it is called environment variable, and using echo you will get the path, whatever this variable hold the values. So remember, I have this all paths. In that I return python as well. Maybe yes, here, see here, two paths we require: scripts and python. If we try to remove this, I'm trying to remove. There are two ways to remove. Remember, you can set path using two ways. There are two ways to set the path. Temporary you can set the path, or permanent you can set the path. How you can set the permanent and temporary path? Through terminal. If I'm using this command prompt, here I can set the path, or using system setting. I'll show you one by one each. Suppose I'll go with terminal, or you can say command prompt, which is in Windows. So through terminal, how we can set the path? Using, in Windows you need to write set path equal to your address. If I return here, suppose if I return here abc or any address, suppose I written this address, Python or temp, anything. So it will set here. So in future, if I try to run same command, it will not display me that much of data. But remember, this is temporary path setting. Why? Because when I close this window, it will unset my path. If I try to go with a new terminal, new window, and here if I try same thing, echo path percent path, so I'll get different data. Why? Because it is on particular session. This is on session. So whatever I set the path, it is here. So for Python, we require two paths. Remember, I have this my computer. In that, I have two paths. Python 2.7. If we take, then script. These two paths we require. Why we need these two paths? One path for accessing the path python.exe file. One path for accessing the pip.exe file. Pip is basically one type of installation tool which help us to install the packages in Python. So pip we will use for that. For anything, for Python 3.7 also we have one python.exe file here. If you can see python3.exe, I written different name because I don't want to conflict. And another is scripts. In that script we have pip. So if you want to install, if you want to access Python, here if I try here Python, should it work? It should work or not? Hello? It should work or not? Python.
It will work.
Others?
Yeah, you overrated the path, right? So it should not work in this particular session.
Because here, yes, here is change my path, so it should not work. Let me try Python. It is giving me an error. Why? It is not recognizing that name. What is Python? He don't know. So basically, what we need to do, we need to set the path to work with it. So how we set the path? Using this number, and we will write here set path equal to your path location. So here is my python.exe file. One another location is what? cd space c:/python and enter. Now if I try without setting the path, I can work it. Remember, here it should work. Why? Python.exe file is available in this location. So see here it is working. Now how we can suppose if I change with c:/users/amir/desktop. If I'm in desktop right now, so if I try with Python here, it should not work. Why? Because the location is different. So how we can set the path? Using set path equal to path %path semicolon the location whatever you want. Python 27 semicolon. That's it. Semicolon is also not important. Here you can, if you try again, it should work. Because I set my Python as 2.7, so that's why 2.7 is working. Now if I try to reset it, set path equal to some different path location, Python 3.7 and enter. Now if I try here Python, oh, let me check what is the address. Python 3, because here we have python 3.exe. So if I try here Python 3, because I written here Python 3, so it should work. And the version is different right now, 3.7. Why? Because we set environment for we set the variable for 3.7, and we try to access this Python. Now here we can write all code whatever we require. So here my Python is working because by default I set my path as 2.7. We can change it later how we want, because I written as Python 3 here. So it should work with Python 3. Now my another task is what I need to maintain this throw one file. So I'll go with particular location, and here I'll create mkdir 25 April Python string 25 April Python string. Okay, now let's start with Python simple programs. We can I told you Python, we can run Python through two methods. One is through whole program, and another is through scripting. Before moving to that, I'll just finish this part. Permanent path setting, this we saw already. Command prompt, through command prompt we can see the example is set path equal to %path semicolon and your address, Python address. That address can be fetched from here, this location. You just need to go with this location, any location Python, and copy this location, and then you need to paste here. And another address you need to paste called /scripting scripts, which is in this location, in this folder, same folder here. So these two addresses we require to run Python smoothly. So we require two addresses, whether it is Python 2.7 or 3.7. Okay, now let me finish this part, then I'll move it to the language, how to run Python. Run Python. Okay, so to set the environment through environment variable, we will go to my computer. You can open your my computer and go to system property. Maybe you know very well this thing, but just want to revise it. So in that in system variable, we can write here variable, environment variable, or variable, edit your environment variable. So you'll get one window. Oops. Here. So remember, there are two ways to set the path. One is user level. So here, if you can see, this is user level. Here I'm getting my name, Amil, and here system variable. This system variable, both side we have path. See here, this is variable and the value of that variable. Here also we have path, and this is the variable and this is value. So what is different between both? If I set here, so only this user can access my Python. But if I set here, both all user can access my Python. Okay, so usually we set here, but while writing this thing, you need to write a new page, new entry, and you need to write here. Remember, it is very important to write a new entry. Okay, and you can save it. That's it. So come to the point. Here there are two ways to run a Python. One is through language. As a language, you need to write a complete program, or you can go with a script. So first we'll go with a language. I created one folder here, you can see is empty. Now I need to go with a program base. So you can use any editor. I follow the editor whole program. Notepad I need to use, so I'll use notepad space my file name, suppose abc.py. Any name you can write. This file is not available in this location. Do you want to create? Yes, I want to create. And here I'll write my program code. Welcome to Python. Simple. No need to write anything else. Remember, in Python, we have indentation problem. So not problem, it's feature. When you type this thing, tab, it will make it as in a block. so we don't want to write in any space before this print. Okay, you can add space after this, but it's not important, not necessary. And we'll close this file, go to file, save, and file, exit. That's it. So we return a code. Now we save the code, and now we need to run the code through this command. So we'll write here Python space abc.py. When I run this program, I'll get my output. Welcome to Python. This output coming from that file. So this is called language-based Python. Language-based Python. Whereas another is script-based Python. In that, we just need to write a code in here, Python, enter. That's it. And here we will write simple program. Welcome to Python. So same output we will get in same window. We no need to run or anything. Just run it, execute it, you'll get the output. Welcome to Python. That's it. So this is simple thing. Run Python is very easy. Now we move to the advanced topics, basic, little bit advanced. So remember, there are many things in that interactive interpreter. You can say interactive mode or Python prompt, which is start with this symbol. And here you can write what you can write here, arithmetic operation. Arithmetic operations. You can perform arithmetic operation here. You can perform expression resolution. Expression means equations. If you have mathematical equations, you can write mathematical equation. You can write here Python statements. You can write here Python literals, other stuffs. Okay, just I'll go with Python statement and other one by one, or you can write any Python variable or anything, variable constant or anything. We'll go one by one, each and everything. So first of all, how we can write Python expression here? We'll write here arithmetic operation. We can even write more complex arithmetic operations, like here. It will give you directly output, or you can write Python statement like this example. This is Python statement, or even you can use some variables like a equal to, no need to declare 10. So when you try to display the variable value a, you'll get the value directly, a equal to 10. So that's it. That is the simple thing in Python. Okay, now we'll move to the little bit advanced. So remember, in Python there is something new. Those people, they are coming from Java background, I don't want to make you easy. Little bit I'll advance it this program. So what I will do, here I'll write my code. Suppose s1. S1 is any variable, you can write any name. Here I'll write my message, welcome to Python. So this message I can display through s1 and enter, or else you can display through s1 enter. Both are correct. So here this is called variable, left hand side called variable, this is called value. But in another language, suppose if it is C language, you cannot use any other symbol. Another symbol is not possible. Here it is possible. Double quotation and single quotation is possible here. Both are same here. So when I run it here s2 and enter, it will give me same output. Here also same, here also same. So in Python, there is no difference between double quotation and single quotation. Even we have triple quotation in Python. What in by triple quotation? I'll show you. Triple quotation is like this, triple quotation, and then you can write anything, welcome, then you can write to any multiple line string. You can say multiple line string, triple quotation close. Then it will become one variable value. But each variable value contain slash n. See, slash n. Why? Because we press enter after this welcome. So what in by slash n? It is hidden symbol, and it is called format escape sequence. Escape sequences. What is escape sequences? It will show how you return a string and which format, which things you followed there. So this escape sequence start with this backward slash. This is called backward slash. This is start with backward slash, and here the meaning of this slash n is what? New line. When I want to write here, I press enter button. So that means I create new line. Again enter button, again enter button, again enter button. So this will show me how many times I press enter button. I move to new line. So same thing, if you try with Python S3, it will give me directly output. It will not show me this all things, internal thing. So what is different between directly displaying variable value and using Python, using print? With the help of print, we will get directly output instead of getting the escape sequences. Okay. Any question, guys? Any question?
No.
No.
I'm going very basic and through basic level. If you have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll go a little bit advanced level. So it would be good for you also. Okay. So there are some other strict features also we have here. Suppose here we can use what we understand multiple quotation. We can use single quotation or double quotation or triple quotation. We can use triple quote. We can use now with the help of this Python, we can write s4 equal to some value, and suppose I return Python here, and then multiply by 5. Now what is this? This is not possible in any other language. Only Lisp is possible. The meaning is here 5 multiply by Python. So if you try to display the value of S4 5 times, Python will come. Python, 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 Python. 5 times it comes. Why? Because you return here multiply by 5. So it will not perform all addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, but only multiplication is possible here. So usually we use when we have repeating value. So we'll just write star and then number of times you want to repeat. So that much of times it will display you this message. Okay. So this is one thing. And another thing is what you can join multiple string, like here I join with s5 is equal to double quotation abc plus xyz using plus symbol, right? This is normal thing. With any language you can get these options, but here we have s5 comma double quotation aaa comma single quotation bbb. That's it. When I try to display it, I'll get all output abc xyz and aaa and bbb. So this output is joined together, but it will display in a tuple format. I'll show you later what is tuple. But this is the main thing in Python. When we use this thing, we should know how we can join it. So this join is basically joined in string. It will become one string, whereas here it joined in a message. It will display in a message. So it will display you like a message, and you can join it here through some symbol as well, like here. Oh, sorry, because formatting we require for percent symbol, we require formatting. So we can add here single ccc and enter. So now the difference is what if you specify brackets, it will become some different type of data type. This is called tuples. It is in a collection. Java people, they know. So this is called collections. If you write this bracket symbols, it will become a collection, whereas here it will not become a collection. It will become one string. So this is the difference between normal print and bracket prints. Okay. This will ask in interview question, what is different between bracket print and normal print. So you people can understand the difference. Okay. Any question, any doubt here?
Could you again
Jagdeep?
say the
Mhm.
difference between bracket versus normal print?
Sorry,
Could you again tell the difference between bracket versus normal print? I kind of missed it.
back versus
Bracket versus normal print. Could you repeat that again?
ha. Print, we have two methods. We can use bracket, okay, and here we can write some message.
Mhm.
So if I write here this type of message and enter it, it will become another type. See here, it will become separated value.
Mhm.
This value is separated. Whereas if you write without bracket, if I write here same thing without brackets, so it will become one string.
Oh, okay.
It will join and it will become okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Welcome. Anything else, guys? So mm, that's it for today. Just I want to revise it what we covered today. Python is not only language; it is also a scripting thing. Java is only language. Here it is used for enterprise application. Here also we can use for enterprise application, but language we can use for only software development. People, those they are coming from DevOps, automation, and data warehouse, other stuffs, so they can work with scripting tools also. As a scripting also they can write. And there are two things we need to write at somewhere and translate it. So we use usually here commands, code or statements, whereas in translator there are two things. We have one compiler, interpreter. And what is the meaning of compiler? They will ask you in interview what is different between compiler and interpreter. Compiler is a whole program. It is one type of software, or you can say tool, which is type of translator tool, which help us to convert from one thing to another language. So this will convert from binary or Python to binary. It uses internally it uses assembler. uh, if you want to convert, remember, if you want to convert binary to Python, it is not possible, but if you want to convert, deassembler we use usually. It is called reverse engineering. So this is we use for hacking, but we never use for this thing for ethical purpose. We use usually assembler. In assembler, Python code will convert it into binary. So this can convert through any translator, whereas if it is Python, you require interpreter, and that interpreter is available in this file, python.exe executable file. Okay. So compiler is basically whole program. It will compile, and then what it will do, it will check whole program code. If there is some error, it will cancel other stuff like validations and translation stuff. Whereas interpreter, it will check the error. If it is error, then it will execute before whatever they checked. This is the difference. So it will go line by line. Example is SQL prompt, where you can write a command and execute it. Write a command, execute it. That's it. And the example syntax of this is the syntax how we can run the Python using this method. Syntax is Python and then file name. File name is anything you want. It's not compulsory like Java. We have to write a file name as a class name. It's not compulsory here. You can write anything. And .py means Python. Py means Python. It's pure object-oriented programming language where it is not strictly to follow object-oriented. You can follow it. You can neglect it. No need. So whereas in Java, you need to write for hello or welcome message also, we need to write like this whole thing. So this is the problem with people, those they are coming from system in administration or automation or cloud things, they will not focus on this all stuff. So that's why Java is only a language, whereas Python is a language as well as scripting. Python have one feature called PEP. If you want to go with, more about Python PEP, so you can check here, PEP PEP 7. These are the versions, and you can go with Python style code, and here you will get the idea. So your task is what you need to know about the PEP. For tomorrow I will ask you what is the PEP and enhancement program, and what are the in which languages they enhance, what are the features they will take from another language to Python. Okay, so what is this PEP? PEP is basically a community, open source community, which suggests the features or code style, how we will want to write a code. So suppose in C, C++ or Java, C++ or Java, we have a code called if. So for whatever we have if, and then we have here condition, and then you need to write this open close bracket in this type of languages. Whereas in Python, we will write code if and condition and colon. That's it. And then you write here code, whatever. So no need to write these brackets in Python. Instead of writing brackets, we will use indentation. This features is coming into Python only. So that's why using PEP, because everyone they are moving from Lisp to Python. Java people they are moving to Python. C, C++ people they are moving to Python, .NET, PHP, anyone they are moving to Python because of these features. So this type of features we have. How to run a Python? There are two ways. Whether you can go with as a language, whole program we can run it, and using Notepad. You need to write a code,
Hey,
simple code, whatever you.
I have a doubt there.
Uh-huh.
Like, let us think like in a Python, as you said, like if you are starting like if and there are no braces or something. Let if you want to end that if condition, like how it is ending there, you just opening the condition and that's it, colon. How
This
you
is
can make it like
closing. If you make this indentation, that means you are in this block.
okay, that
If
space
you
you are
are not,
saying.
if you want same thing, then it is in same block. When you go with this thing, it will become a simple. So here, two lines within this if block, whereas third line is not in block.
Okay.
So I'll
So
go
okay.
one by one.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And another thing is what scripting. Through scripting, you just need to write a Python command, but it should be set as an environment. Python.exe. It should be written in your terminal or your prompt, DOS prompt or any prompt you should write here. Okay, then it will come to Python prompt. This is called Python prompt. Okay, so there are two types of environment variable: machine level, user means particular user base, or machine means we can, any user can use this environment or variable to anywhere. This is one thing. How to set the path? There are two ways. Based on session, you can say this is a session based setting the path, or using permanent using system settings. Okay, there are few things in interactive mode. We can write arithmetic expression, arithmetic mathematical equations, or even Python statement here, and variables. That's it for today. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, we will go for tomorrow, from tomorrow sharp 8 o'clock.
So, do we have any IDE tools for Python as we have in Java, or only notepads we have to use?
You can use Java IDE also, NetBeans or Eclipse also you can use it. Or else, if you want preferable Python editor, PyCharm is the best.
Can you write that name, PyCharm name?
IDE, Integrated Development Environment. This is one type of tool which help us to write a code or maintain this code. So For Java, best is Eclipse, right? And for Python, best is PyCharm. PyCharm have two versions, educational version and enterprise version. So it is paid, basically it is paid, and it is free for open source community. So this is from JetBrain. JetBrain is company, they will provide this thing, this type of editor. There's JetBrain provide PyCharm. There is another editor, PySpider also. So we prefer PyCharm. We will prefer PyCharm only, which is best for all. But remember, Python can be written in any other environment as well. Means IDE, Eclipse, or Visual Studio.NET. Also, we can write a code. So in .NET only we can write in Visual Studio, whereas in Python we can write anywhere. Whether
Okay.
you're from background,
Okay,
you can
so
write.
when I use any of these IDE tools, right, again, I should save that file name with the .py, correct?
There is some settings for other environment. You need to add the configuration about Python pass setting. We require pass setting and other stuffs. So that only it will help us. Otherwise, it will create a problem. We cannot run it.
Yeah,
Even
that
if
is
you
when my actual requirement is I want to develop a Python script particularly, and I want to match that Python file into my shell script to execute my daily jobs like that. So in that case, in Python, I can see there are multiple functions which I cannot memorize everything. So I want to use an IDE tool to develop a Python script. So once it is compiled successfully, then I can take that file, I can pass that file as an argument to my shell script, correct?
yes, I'll show you how we can do these things. I'll show you practically. If
Okay,
you're interested, definitely I'll help you how much I can.
okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Any question, guys? Others?
So on this course will be how long, how many days it will be, this complete course?
As discussed with Vasu, it is not more than 1 month.
Mhm.
I'll try to cover in within 1 month. But still, if you have in future, if you have any doubt, you can ask me or Vasu anytime.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And one more thing, I'm not talking about others, I'm talking for myself. My core objective for joining this class, right, to develop the scripts for automating our daily tasks. I'm a part of DevOps team actually. So hope the class, whatever you are taking, and again for another 29 days, right, will help me to develop the scripts using Python and integrating them with shell scripts and all, correct?
Whatever we committed you through contents, we will cover this thing first. Okay. Second is whatever you require now, it is a special requirement. So you can ask me personally, or you can ask to Vasu. He will help you, and you can coordinate with me. I'll definitely help you because I am from the same background. Whatever you are working now, I'm in same background. I work with as a developer. I work as a DevOps automation team with Ansible and other stuff also. I have good idea. So you can ask me anytime if you have any question, because whatever we committed, we cannot go with a specific thing, right? Whatever we committed, we are going in this content only first.
Yeah, that I
Completing.
agree. That I agree with you. So with the course content, whatever we have in this in the demo video, right? So that course content, if it is completed, hope it will be helpful for me to develop a Python scripts. So that is
Definitely. Yes, definitely it will help you. Definitely. Because the course content what we design is totally different from other institutes or teaching stuff, because it is totally based on professional needs, whatever the professional they required. Based on that only we prepared, but it will not cover all things whatever you are expecting. Remember, we will show you how to drive, how to ride a bike. Remember, we will show you how to ride a bike. We will not show you how to ride a bike for Bajaj or especially Honda or Hero Honda, like that.
I agree. I
Okay.
agree. I'm not looking for any vendor based like Ansible or Chef like that. So at least if I can write a deployment script through after end of this course, I'm good enough for that. So I can do that, right?
Definitely. Yes. you require practice. It all depend on your practice and my knowledge sharing. So definitely I'll share your knowledge completely. But main thing is what, without practice I cannot do anything. So if you have any question, you can ask me. So it will be helpful for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And also one more thing is, you whatever you're writing the notes, it looks good. And apart from
I'll
this, do you have any PPTs like that of the main capturing the main points like that?
I have PPTs as well, but let me complete this all thing first. Then I will share
Okay.
with you all.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It depends on my work because I have another work also. I'll share with
Okay.
you. Okay.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Thank you, guys. So we'll meet tomorrow sharp 8 o'clock IST, IAM. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.